So, about a month ago, I received what I thought at the time was a pretty harmless comment on one of my videos. It simply said, "This guy copied your video," followed by a YouTube link. Curiously, I clicked the link and was brought to a video titled in Spanish by a YouTuber named Tempestad Gamer. Now, being an English-speaking Canadian who has never been taught Spanish a day in his life, I had no idea what the title meant. But after scrubbing through the video for a bit, it became obvious it was about beating Wind Waker without the wind. A video I had done on my channel about a month before this one was released. Which, by the way, I was completely fine with. People do this all the time on YouTube. Challenge run ideas aren't owned by anyone, and they aren't protected under copyright law. If they were, all these people touching grass with Mario would be in prison. But it isn't, and they aren't, so I was cool with it. I even noticed that he put my name on one of the clips, which meant he had to be crediting me in some way. So, even though I couldn't understand any of the words, I thought I had seen enough to confidently say my video had not been copied. I chalked it up to someone attempting the same challenge and putting their own spin on it, which, again, is completely fine. So, I washed my hands of it and moved on to more pressing matters. But over the next couple of days, something about that video kept nagging at me. For some reason, I just couldn't get it out of my head. I thought I had done my due diligence by skimming through it, but I really didn't know what he was saying in the video. He could have copied my script word for word, and I would have no idea because I don't speak Spanish. And I didn't know anyone else who could, which meant, unfortunately, I was out of luck. But thankfully, that day, while digging through the settings of a YouTube video, I found a possible solution to my problem. The YouTube Auto Translate. This little feature translates the audio from any YouTube video to nice, neat English closed captions. Now I knew, like most of these things, it probably wasn't 100% accurate, but it was probably good enough for what I needed it for. So, with my new tool in hand, I rewatched Tempestad Gamer's video on Wind Waker without the wind.
Efectivamente,
That's weird. I got stuck in the exact same way.
conseguir las flechas de luz y salir corriendo de aquí. Oh, no, 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 no. Si no lo sabía,
Wait, didn't I do the exact same thing?
momento de empezar a navegar hacia el mar abierto y comenzar nuestra travesía. Y sí, aparentemente
Wait, what? He stole my joke! Yeah, so he definitely stole some shit. To show you what I mean, let's take a quick look at those clips I just showed. So, when I was first trying to perform barrier skip in my run, I kept coming across a problem where Link would run against the barrier and just not clip through. It turns out, even though I had done the setup right, I was building up too much speed to actually make it through the barrier. I know this because I asked the Wind Waker HD speedrunning Discord, and they knew exactly what the problem was and answered back right away. You can actually still find the question there if you go to the practice/help section and look for October 17th. Now, coincidentally, Tempestad had the exact same issue. While trying the exact same trick, he also built up too much speed, and also asked somebody on Discord for help. That's weird, right? In my next clip, I had just performed barrier skip and made it to Ganon's tower. At this point in my run, I was exhausted from trying to do barrier skip for hours and thought all the hard tricks were behind me. That was until I realized I needed the hook shot, an item I didn't have to beat this guy to actually make it through Ganon's tower. Which is exactly why I did this. Out of here. Oh no. No, 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 no! Now, in his run, Tempestad came to the same conclusion and strangely reacted in the exact same way.
Y salir corriendo de aquí. Oh no 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 no.
In this next clip, he just straight up steals my stupid joke when I'm leaving Windfall Island for the first time. Obviously, in a video about not using the wind, using the sail was out of the question. So I thought it'd be funny if I set up this epic start to an adventure and then just have me sit there because I couldn't use the sail. And we could head out into the open ocean and start our adventure. Obviously, Tempestad thought it was funny too because he put it in his video.
Y comenzar nuestra travesía.
But at the end of the day, who cares, right? He copied like 3 things in my video. It's not even a big deal. Who cares if he copied one of my jokes? It wasn't even that good anyways. Wait, what is this? He copied my fucking speech? So, remember that issue I mentioned earlier about not having the hookshot to beat this guy? Well, to get around this, you have to perform a trick called Trial Skip, which happens to be one of the hardest tricks in the Wind Waker. You basically have to perform a complex series of inputs to get yourself out of bounds, then float over towards this door. It may seem easy, but it's not. This trick took me over 3 hours to do. During those 3 hours, I got really frustrated and went to some dark places. So I wrote this stupid inspirational speech to try and convey that to the viewer. And no word of a lie, Tempestad Gamer copied the whole thing almost word for word. This broke me. I tried to stay positive. I tried to keep going, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do this. I play Pikmin, I don't play Zelda. Why would I even think that I could? I don't have the skills to pull this off. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Why did I think I could do this challenge? Why did I think I could make this video? Why did I think I could become a YouTuber? Because I can't. I'm not good enough. Not only is it copied word for word, but he also shot it the exact same. The camera spins around Link in the same way, in the same spot. He cuts to black the same moment I do. He recreates my clip of Link falling in the lava, and then shows him picking himself up from the ground. He even does these little stupid zoom-ins I did. He copied everything about this speech to almost an insane degree. I honestly couldn't believe it. It's also kind of flattering because he thinks this speech is such an infallible work of art that he dare not change a single thing about it. But it's not. It's actually kind of stupid. It's overdramatic and honestly pretty self-indulgent. For God's sakes, the whole thing is almost 2 minutes long. But that was kind of the point. I was just trying to vent my frustration. That part of the video wasn't for the viewer. It was for me. Okay, so we're gonna do a little story time real quick. About 1.5 years ago, I developed really severe chronic jaw pain. I won't go in depth on how it happened, but just know it basically left me unable to work a regular job. All I could really do was work on videos for this channel, which is what I did. This unfortunately though led to me getting some pretty bad depression because I couldn't support my wife and 2 children. I felt like a complete failure. Especially at the start when this channel was making no money. As this channel has grown though, this feeling has somewhat been alleviated. But when I have moments like this where I spend hours and hours on a trick, those feelings come crawling back. I spiral sometimes. Like, if I can't do this trick, I won't be able to get this video out. And if I can't get this video out, people will stop watching. And if people stop watching, this channel will die and I'll be fucked. This is what goes through my head sometimes. And it was something I was just trying to express through this stupid, overdramatic speech. It was something that was very personal to me, which is why it sucked so much when I found out Tempestad stole it. He just took it from me and said that he made it. He doesn't credit me anywhere in the video or description. He doesn't mention me at all. What's even worse is that he takes credit for it in the comments. Bro, I came for entertainment and left with a reflection. How strong. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. Crazy. You inspired me more than all my teachers. It's an honor, Brian. I really thank you. Really? It's an honor? It's an honor stealing other people's shit? This mentality is crazy to me. He is straight up just lying to his fans and taking credit for something he stole. Stealing from someone's video is one thing, but to actively lie to people and say that you made it is insane. Where is the shame? How do you sleep at night knowing you've done this? Needless to say, I was pissed off. The whole thing was funny at first, but Tempestad had just crossed the line. The problem was, I still didn't speak Spanish, and even though I had YouTube's auto-translate, I felt like if I was gonna get serious about this, it wasn't gonna be enough. So I made the decision to contact an old rival of mine, a rival now turned ally. I contacted Lemon from the Backlogs. I basically asked him if he knew anyone that could help me out with my current situation. And luckily for me, there were a bunch of members from his Firebomb Academy that spoke Spanish and were willing to help me out. The first one documented all the times he copied me throughout the video, and presented it in this nicely formatted Google document. Let's check some out, shall we? We have left behind our title as the Wind Waker and have ascended to who we were always meant to be, the Waker.
Hemos dejado atrás nuestro título como Wind Waker y hemos ascendido a quienes siempre debimos ser, el Waker.
Remember, before we did all this bullshit, we had just beaten the Forsaken Fortress for a second time, and we were supposed to be in Hyrule watching the cutscene where Tetra is revealed to be Zelda, not skipping barriers and trials for 17 hours trying to get the light arrows.
Recuerden que antes de hacer todo este lío, acabábamos de vencer al ave gigante y superar la isla del diablo por segunda vez, y se suponía que debíamos estar en Hyrule viendo la escena donde se revela que Tetra es Zelda, no saltando barreras y pruebas durante 22 horas tratando de obtener las flechas de luz.
No matter what angle you throw her at or where you throw her from, it just doesn't matter. Without the wind, she can't get up there. So, is that it? Is the run already over? Well, not exactly.
No obstante, por más que tratemos sin el apoyo del viento, es imposible llegar al otro lado del puente sin importar en qué ángulo lancemos a Medley. Sin el viento, ella no puede llegar ahí. ¿Eso significa que el reto acabó? No exactamente.
Then, an absolute hero by the name of Walt Risney went through Tempestad Gamer's entire script and color-coded all the lines in 3 different colors. Green for original content that Tempestad had written himself, yellow for lines that were similar to mine but had some words changed around, and red, which was basically a word-for-word copy. This is that entire script. Look at how much red there is. It's basically all red. There are 40 pages to this thing, and there isn't a single page without a red mark on it. Oh, there's this one that's almost all green. Good job, dude. You almost wrote a single page. Let's quickly take a look at some of these copied portions so you can see what I mean. And Hyrule is weird, mainly because it contains the end of the game, Ganon's Tower. If you go outside the castle, you can literally see it off in the distance. The only problem is, there's a massive barrier blocking you from getting to it. You're supposed to break down this barrier at the end of the game when you have the powered up Master Sword and all the Triforce pieces.
Hyrule es raro, principalmente porque tiene la torre del final del juego. Si sales del castillo literalmente puedes verla a lo lejos. El único problema es que hay una barrera enorme que te impide llegar a ella. Se supone que debes romper esa barrera al final del juego cuando tienes la Master Sword en todo su esplendor y todas las piezas de la Trifuerza.
Unfortunately for us, the tentacles create an impenetrable force field. And no matter what, you just can't reach it. But guess what? We don't have to reach it, because we have our good friend, Item Slide, to help us out once again.
Lamentablemente no hay forma de acceder a esta nueve sin la hoja Deku. Desafortunadamente para nosotros, los tentáculos crean un campo de fuerza impenetrable y no importa lo que hagas, simplemente no puedes alcanzarlo. Pero adivina qué, no tenemos que alcanzarlo porque tenemos nuestro buen amigo el Item Slide para ayudarnos una vez más.
And I'm not exaggerating. Using this method, Link will multiply his speed by 1.2 every single frame. And since the Wind Waker runs at 30 frames a second, that's a lot of speed really quickly. In fact, you can build up so much speed like this that you can just crash the game.
No estoy exagerando. Si usas este método, Venti multiplicará su velocidad por 1.2 cada cuadro que pase, y dado que Wind Waker corre a 30 cuadros por segundo, eso es mucha velocidad en muy poco tiempo. De hecho, puedes acumular tanta velocidad negativa que simplemente crashearás el juego.
A few others took a look at both videos and compared them, and the general sentiment was that around 80% of the script was stolen, if not more. 80%. My original script for this video is 23 pages long and almost 10,000 words. It took me 4 days to write it. Then Tempestad Gamer came along, copied the whole thing, made a couple of changes, and called it his own. I'm credited nowhere in the video or description, and he doesn't even mention my name once. That little section of the video I mentioned earlier, when I thought he was crediting me, was just him showing off one of my clips. It was just me getting the bottle from the submarine, and he probably showed me doing it because he was too lazy to do it himself. But it's honestly just hilarious to me that he even put my name in this section of the video. Like, the whole video should have my name on it. It's my video. But Tempestad doesn't look at it this way. He thinks it's his video. Just look at some of his comments. He has no issue taking credit for someone else's work. And when he's called out for it, this is his defense. I'm sure I've seen a video very similar to this on some channel. The challenge is the same, but there's no channel that brings it with a girl named Venti, and that is so epic. He thinks because he made Link into a girl that the video is completely original. All he did was go to GameBanana.com and download this Linkle mod by Pokey Sophie, who he also didn't credit, by the way, and he thinks this absolves him from any plagiarism. It's fucking insane. And the sad part is, it keeps going. I only showed you a small portion of this video, but there's so much more he copied. It would honestly be easier showing the parts he didn't copy rather than the ones he did. It's just so much. Honestly though, even after all of this, I still wasn't gonna do anything. He didn't get a ton of views on the video, and he's a relatively small YouTuber. So I felt like if I called him out, it would have felt like bullying in some weird way, so I didn't do it. I just decided to take it on the chin and let it go. That was until I checked some of his other videos. Wait, what? I swear I've seen this before. This is a video titled, "Can You Beat Zelda Ocarina of Time Without the Ocarina?" by a YouTuber named Offbeat Drill. In the video, he pulls off some insane tricks and some nasty glitches to get through the entire game without the Ocarina. It is genuinely a great video, and I know this because I watched it when it first came out. It was released on May 18th, 2024. Then, 1 month later, Tempestad Gamer released this. I completed Zelda Ocarina of Time, but without the Ocarina. A very similar titled video, which has a very similar thumbnail. So naturally, after I found out he copied my entire video, I wanted to see just how similar these ones were. And, yeah, they're pretty similar.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time tells a story of a boy who dives into a town's sewage system to retrieve a Fisher-Price toy and uses said toy to learn a song from a senile old man in a windmill. But what if we didn't want to do any of that? In fact, what if we wanted to beat the entire game without obtaining the ocarina or learning any songs at all? This would certainly be a difficult undertaking, because as the title of the game suggests,
it is almost a shot-for-shot remake of Offbeat's video. Everything is the same, from the words he uses, to the clips he uses, to the pictures he uses. He even copies Offbeat's Fisher-Price joke right at the start of the video.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time tells a story of a boy who dives into a town's sewage system to retrieve a Fisher-Price toy.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time cuenta la historia de un niño que se sumerge en el sistema de alcantarillado de una ciudad para recuperar un juguete musical.
But hey, he did use different Fisher-Price toys. Instead of the joyful drums, he chose the wacky horn. Now that's originality. It keeps going too. Look at this. It's just shot for shot the same. He even copies another one of Offbeat's jokes, where he compares this Kokiri boy to the member of the Lollipop Guild. Except his version doesn't make sense because it's E.T. in a wig. Tempestad, do these two look the same to you? I don't know if something's lost in translation here, but I genuinely don't understand it. The whole video is like this though. Like watch. Here's some more shot-for-shot copying.
I made sure to round up all the cuckoos to earn myself an empty bottle from the cuckoo lady. Opened a grave at the graveyard to get the Hylian shield that I'll need as Adult Link later on.
Right after that, he uses the same pictures again, but this time he doesn't even bother switching them up, he just rips them straight from the video. Tempestad likes doing this a lot. There's a picture later on in the video that shows the Shadow Temple's basic structure, which Offbeat Drill grabbed from this video here, and wrote his own text over it. And guess what? He correctly credits him in the description. You wanna know what Tempestad Gamer does? He just steals the picture and doesn't credit anyone! Isn't that fun? Or this one, where he just happens to put up the same 3 medallions at the exact same point in the video. But wait guys, he put them in a slightly different order. That makes it not stealing. What's hilarious about this too is that he copies the pictures to such an absurd degree. Like, at the start of the video, when Offbeat Drill shows the medallions, he doesn't remove the white border from the image. So neither does Tempestad. But if we go back to the clip I just showed, he does remove the white borders. So obviously Tempestad had to copy that. Like, why? Why are you like this? You don't need to copy this hard. This doesn't make the video better. It's such a small, irrelevant detail. Why copy this? It's fucking crazy. Another thing Tempestad Gamer likes to do is cheat, which isn't nearly as serious as the whole plagiarism thing, but it is kind of funny, so I wanted to point it out. It's also completely fine to do if done in the correct way, but Tempestad doesn't do it in the correct way. He tries to hide it. Like here, they have to perform a glitch to get to the entrance of the Forest Temple without the hook shot. Offbeat Drill shows himself performing an insane glitch where he hovers to the entrance using bomb chews. Tempestad shows someone else doing it, and then just magically appears at the top. He doesn't explain anything, he doesn't show off what he did, he just appears at the top. Now, people are probably going to say, how did he get up there if he didn't perform the glitch? He doesn't have the hook shot, he can't get up there any other way. Yeah, he just used a moon jump cheat. Tempestad is playing on a PC port of the game called Ship of Harkinian. I know this because when he resets the game in the video, it shows off the logo for the port. And guess what the Ship of Harkinian has? It has cheats, specifically a moon jump cheat. So he just showed someone else doing it and moon jumped up there himself. The funny thing is, this would be completely fine if he just admitted to it. This trick looks like an absolute nightmare. Just look at this thing. I wouldn't want to do this either. But just say you couldn't do the trick. Be transparent with your audience. Nobody is going to care. I've done it a bunch of times in my videos. In my beating Paper Mario backwards video, I couldn't perform a trick called Laziest, so I used a Paper Mario practice ROM to cheat my way through it. But I admitted that in the video. I told my audience what I did. And I did the same thing in my Wind Waker Without the Wind video. I couldn't perform the manual super swim, so I told my audience that. Tempestad also did the same thing in his Wind Waker video, but I'm pretty sure he only did that because he was copying me. And listen, I know it's a little lame that I didn't do it myself, but I promise you, this is the last time it'll happen in this run.
Sé que es un poco patético que no lo haya hecho yo mismo, pero les prometo que esta es la última vez que sucederá en todo el reto. Ahora,
if I actually performed the trick, I have no doubt in my mind he would have shown someone else doing it and magically appeared on Dragon Roost. But yeah, he does this type of thing quite a bit in this video. Like when he finally beats the Forest Temple, he walks into the blue light to claim the Forest Medallion, which you literally can't do as young Link because it soft locks the game. This cutscene showing off the little Deku Tree guy will just freeze. Offbeat mentions this in his video and actually does a super complex trick to get around it. It's also mentioned in another video by Mandatory Pixel where he beats Ocarina of Time with only young Link. And I even went to the Ocarina of Time speedrunning Discord to make sure this was the case. Everyone says you can't do this without the glitch. But Tempestad walks into the light, grabs his medallion, and doesn't mention a thing, knowing full well that he didn't do the glitch and his game is going to crash, and he won't be able to collect the Forest Medallion. His audience doesn't know this because he doesn't say anything. He just hides it and avoids telling the truth. In another section of the video, when he's out of bounds in the Shadow Temple, he turns on environmental collision so he can see where he's going. He says it's so the audience can understand what's happening, but let's be real, it's just for him to cheat. Because this is what it looks like without collision on. You can't see a thing, and it's impossibly hard to navigate. In another clip, he does the same thing he did in the Forest Temple, except this time at the Spirit Temple. He shows a clip of someone else doing it, and then magically just appears at the top. Like I said before, all these examples aren't as serious as the blatant plagiarism, but it does help paint a picture of the type of person Tempestad Gamer is. He wants you to think he made these videos. He wants you to think he's some kind of god gamer who can perform these super hard tricks. He doesn't want to admit he can't do it, so he lies. Even about stupid stuff like glitches that he could easily tell the truth about and nobody would care. It's honestly kind of sad. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention real quick that I just found kind of funny is that anytime Tempestad finds a trick to help him out in his run, he thanks Jesus. But who he's actually thanking is Offbeat, because he copied his entire video. He actually thanks Jesus for helping him with research. Does he think research is just watching someone else's video and copying it? At the end of the video, he says this: I have to thank Jesus and Darker, who are the people who helped me most in this video. I think you're forgetting someone, dude. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. It's the same situation as my video where so much of it is copied. It'd be easier to know the parts that aren't than the parts that are. If I showed you everything, it would just be clip after clip after clip of two guys pretty much saying the exact same words. But I think I gave you guys the general gist of things with what I showed. And besides, we have to move on, because oh boy, there's more! So after going through Offbeat Drill's video, I checked out Tempestad's channel some more and noticed another thumbnail that seemed really familiar to me. This time though, I didn't need to translate the title. I could already tell what it said. Can you beat Majora's Mask in a 3-day cycle? This same video was done by a YouTuber known as Smiffic, except Smiffic's video came out more than a year before Tempestad's did. And guess what? You guys are gonna be shocked. He copied the whole thing.
No song time, no resets. Speed and would require major glitches to beat. No glitches are used in this run.
Siguientes. No podemos usar la canción del tiempo, no podemos resetear y volver al día 1 glitches para superar el juego, pero no usaremos glitches para demostrar que...
And here's a crazy list of things that is needed to be done first to achieve this. We need to get Sonata of Awakening from the monkey to breach Woodfall Temple to get the bow.
Por lo que explicaré los objetivos necesarios para que todo funcione. Necesitamos la sonata del despertar que nos enseña el mono para entrar al templo del pantano y obtener el arco.
The bow is required to get us into the mountain path which leads to Snowhead Temple. Before we can even reach the temple, we need the Lens of Truth, Goron Mask, and the Goron's Lullaby.
El cual es necesario para entrar a la ciudadela nevada de los Gorons, y la única forma de superar el templo es que obtengamos el lente de la verdad, la máscara Goron y la Goron's Lullaby.
All of this is required to get the fire arrows within the temple. The fire arrows are required to melt the ice, blocking the powder keg Goron, and
todo esto para conseguir las flechas de fuego que están dentro del templo, y usando estas flechas quitamos el hielo que tapa la entrada al Goron que nos vende el barril de pólvora.
Yeah, it just keeps going on like this. Again, Tempestad's video is almost a shot-for-shot remake. He even does this stupid scream at the same time.
the mask. Sneaking into the house and encountering some nightmare fuel.
So de nadie entramos y encontramos un fan de Free Fire.
This isn't part of the game, this is edited in. He does this so much where he just copies the stupidest things for no reason. Like here, he uses the same effect for the Goron rolling. Here, he uses the same bell effect at the exact same time.
However, I heard something I didn't want to hear. The bells are ringing out.
En este momento empecé a escuchar el sonido de la derrota en mi oído. Las campanas del anochecer.
Here, Smiffic's talking about buying red potions and bomb shoes earlier in the run, so he shows it off with black and white footage. Naturally, Tempestad Gamer has to do the exact same thing. Later in the video, Smiffic makes a joke about the creepy Link statue haunting you if you don't like his video. So, again, Tempestad has to do the same thing. He doesn't put it in text, he just says it out loud. In one of the funnier examples, he just straight up copies the way Smiffic says the name of the song.
The final song we need, the New Wave Bossa Nova.
Nos enseñan la canción que necesitamos. New Wave Bossa Nova.
You cannot speak Spanish at all and tell this person is copying just by the way he says the words. The whole video is like this though. What's hard to get across is just how much is copied. Everything is done in the exact same way. If Smiffic does something, Tempestad has to do it too, no matter what it is. I think there's one time where he uses a different trick to do something, but it's such a minuscule change that it doesn't matter. And I know there's gonna be people out there who will be like, oh, they're the same challenge, of course the videos are gonna be similar. Yeah, the thing is, similar is fine, but this is just straight up copying. To show you what I mean, let's look at two more videos. Can you beat Zelda Ocarina of Time without the ocarina by Offbeat Drill again? And can you beat Ocarina of Time with no ocarina by Smiffic? Yeah, Smiffic did the same challenge run as Offbeat Drill. Now, let's look at the intros side by side and see if Smiffic copied him.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time tells the story of a boy who dives into a town's sewage system to retrieve a Fisher-Price toy and uses said toy to learn a song from a senile old man in a windmill. But what if we didn't want to do any of that? In fact, what if we wanted to beat the entire game without obtaining the ocarina or learning any songs at all?
The Ocarina of Time. The sacred instruments protected by Hyrule's royal family, integral to everything that happens to Link in his quest to save Hyrule. It opens the door of time. It gives Link the legendary blade, the Master Sword. It opens a pathway to the sacred realm, allowing Ganon's evil plan to be fulfilled. But what happens if Link never plays it?
See how different these are? See how there's no fucking Fisher-Price toys? This is how this is supposed to be done. You're allowed to take someone else's idea, you just have to make it your own. Which Smiffic does a great job of doing here. Hell, I've done the same thing myself. My read-only run basically uses every trick found in this video by Mocha G, but the videos themselves couldn't be more different. I got this idea from Nathaniel Bandy, and this one from the Backlogs. God, the video that made this channel start to pop off was the exact same idea as Lemon's video. I watched his, saw he couldn't complete the challenge, knew I could, and then just did it. I used his same idea, but then improved upon it. That's what challenge running and speedrunning is all about, improving on other people's shit. But when you copy like this, it doesn't improve anything. In fact, it makes the video worse. By copying someone's video like this, you're basically just creating an inferior version. And I'll show you exactly how this works. Every one of Tempestad's videos are shorter than the ones he copied. Do you know why this is? It's because he can't literally copy everything. If he did, YouTube's copyright system would flag his ass and he would get copyright strikes. So he does little things like make Link a different color, change around words, and choose different Fisher-Price toys. But the most devious thing he does is just straight up remove parts from the video. Since he can't copy everything, he ends up removing sections that he deems unnecessary, which usually ends up being explanations for why stuff is done. A great example of this is in Smiffic's video. He explains that you need to talk to the Goron baby and then the Goron elder as the Goron himself to learn the Goron's lullaby. But he theorizes it might be faster if he talks to the Goron baby as a human, because you already have to go where the baby is when you're unlocking the Goron mask. Then, when he talks to the Goron elder to unlock the song, he's surprised that it actually works.
Prison. To my surprise, speaking to the Goron baby first as a human worked.
Tempestad Gamer does the same thing, but he explains none of the backstory. So when he unlocks the song and says, "We realize that talking to the baby Goron as a human first worked," it doesn't make any sense, because he doesn't explain that you're supposed to do it as a Goron. He just does it and then says the same line as Smiffic. So the viewer is sitting there like, wait, what? Why wouldn't that work? Another great example of this is in the Ocarina without Ocarina video. Offbeat Drill explains that he can't get the boss key because a song stone that you need the Ocarina to break is blocking a switch that leads to the key. So he has to perform this crazy out of bounds glitch to get to the boss room instead. Tempestad Gamer doesn't explain any of this and just does the trick for some reason. At least that's what it would seem like to the viewer. They'd be thinking, why are you not just getting the boss key? Why are you doing this super hard trick instead? I know the reason, and you know the reason, but the viewer watching his video doesn't know because he doesn't explain it. It makes for a worse and much more confusing video for the viewer. But he can't help this because he doesn't have a choice. He can't just literally copy everything. He can't just take someone else's script word for word, dub over it in Spanish, and put it on his channel, right? That would be insane. There's no way he would do that. So, when all this went down, I contacted Smiffic to let him know that one of his videos had been stolen. And what he said next genuinely surprised me. He knew. He knew all about it. He had dealt with Tempestad Gamer before, because this wasn't the first time he had stolen one of his videos. When I saw this, I was like, oh shit, what else did he steal? Then I remembered all the comments on his videos. In preparation for making this video, I combed through all the comments on every video Tempestad stole. And on the Majora's Mask one, I kept seeing weird comments like this. I like the old version of this video better, with all the detailed explanations. But thank you very much for this content. I'm very glad you liked it. Let's hope they don't throw away the video again. I redid it from scratch. It should be fine now. Well thought out, Storm. Delete the original video so they can search for it and watch the video to farm searches, visits, and comments. Plus 10,000 IQ. It wasn't for that! At first, I was a little confused. But after talking to Smiffic, it all made sense. Tempestad had just literally taken Smiffic's script from the transcript YouTube provides you, translated it to Spanish, and uploaded it to his channel. Smiffic told me he copied his script, thumbnail, and even used some of his B-roll footage. And if for some reason you don't believe me or Smiffic, just look at his comment section, because he fucking admits to it. Were you inspired by Smiffic's video? I'm sure even the script is similar. Yes indeed, I downloaded it and re-uploaded it. Congratulations for noticing. Thanks for the dubbing you did. It is very beautiful. In fact, it was not a dubbing. I downloaded the video from Smiffic and it is the same. This video is a poor quality copy of YouTuber Smiffic's video. It literally uses the same rules and even copies some of the phrases. How pathetic. Anything else, crack? He just openly admits to stealing someone else's work and seems proud of it. It's honestly really gross. He literally just took someone else's video, uploaded it to his channel, and called it his own. Doing that, of course, was incredibly stupid, because a Spanish viewer noticed it and immediately alerted Smiffic to what had happened. He then got in contact with YouTube, who told him the best course of action was to copyright strike the video. If you didn't know, copyright strikes are pretty serious. If you get 3 of them, your channel gets deleted. So, YouTubers usually only use these in the most blatant of cases. Like when someone steals your fucking script. Yeah, turns out scripts are protected under copyright law. So Smiffic copyright struck the original video and got it taken down. Yeah, the version I showed you earlier, the version that blatantly copies Smiffic's script, jokes, and basically everything else, is the improved, redone version. His original video was taken down because of blatant plagiarism. So he comes back and releases this steaming pile of garbage, thinking it's all good because he used a slightly different scream. This does not make it okay. This is a joke. But the sad thing is that it worked. Smiffic knows about this version of the video. He gave Tempestad Gamer the go-ahead to release it. And how can you blame him? Dealing with this shit as a YouTuber can be really scary. Now, I don't want to put words in Smiffic's mouth, or even try to explain how he feels because I genuinely don't know. But I do know one thing. I know why people like Tempestad always seem to steal from smaller, lesser-known creators. It's because they think they can get away with it. When Tempestad stole from me, this channel only had around 40,000 subscribers. At the time of this video's recording, Smiffic has around 24,000 and Offbeat Drill has 17. People like Tempestad target these types of channels because they know it's easy prey. They know they'll be scared. They know they won't fight back. They know they'll be confused. And I know this because this is how I felt when it happened to me. I'm still a relatively small YouTuber. I don't really know my rights. I didn't know if what Tempestad Gamer was doing was wrong or not. Hell, I didn't even know about the copyright tab in YouTube Studio. I didn't want to falsely copyright strike his video and jeopardize this YouTube channel that me and Ty have worked so hard to build. If it weren't for Lemon helping me through this, I probably would have done nothing. I probably would have just let it go. There's a reason Tempestad won't target someone like Lemon. Lemon is a huge YouTuber with a massive fanbase and contacts at YouTube. If Tempestad stole one of his videos, Lemon would send his ass to the Shadow Realm in 2 seconds. He knows this. This is why he steals from smaller YouTubers. He is a bully. And he does it for a reason. There is a lot of money in this. I made thousands of dollars off my Wind Waker video, but it also took me 3 weeks to make it, and I work full-time on YouTube, which means it probably took me over 100 hours to do. Looking at Offbeat and Smiffic's videos, I would assume they're in the same boat. Making videos like this takes a long time, but you know what makes that time go by a lot quicker? when you steal someone else's work. You can put in 1/10 of the effort and reap the same rewards. His Wind Waker video might not have gotten a lot of views, but his Majora's Mask one did. It's not 2 million like Smiffic's video, but still, 150,000 views is a decent chunk of change. And his video he copied off Offbeat almost has more views than the original, which is honestly disgusting. Tempestad Gamer doesn't provide any value with his videos. He only takes it. Takes from smaller YouTubers putting dozens of hours into their videos, or from the viewers mistakenly thinking they like his content when they really liked someone else's. What Tempestad Gamer does only benefits him and hurts everyone else. What he does is not okay. People might think, oh, he's a small YouTuber himself, and besides, he only stole 3 videos, give the guy a break. Well, first of all, I don't even know if he only stole 3 videos. The only reason I knew he stole the other ones was because I watched the original versions myself. He very well might have other videos on his channel that are stolen that I just don't know about. But even if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. He might be small now, but if he keeps copying like this, he could get big very quickly. A YouTuber by the name of Karl Jobst recently released a video covering a Russian YouTuber who basically does the same thing as Tempestad, but on a much bigger scale. This guy steals people's videos, translates them into Russian, and makes thousands of dollars doing it. In 1 or 2 years' time, this could very easily be Tempestad. So no, I don't have sympathy for him because he's small. No matter what your size is, copying other people's work is garbage, and it needs to stop. So, I didn't really know how to end this video, but I think I'm gonna do it like this. Tempestad, if you're watching this, just stop stealing videos, man. You do most of the tricks by yourself, so you're clearly a talented gamer. And the editing in your videos is also pretty good. Just stop stealing people's words. You can do the challenges, that's not a problem. Just give us your own experience doing it. We don't need you to give us Smiffic or Offbeat's experiences. We already have them. They made their videos. And you're not only hurting others by doing this, you're hurting yourself as well. You're not growing as a creator or as a person. You can't sit back after finishing a video and be proud of what you made. And all those comments praising your work probably mean very little to you because you know deep down it's not yours. Tempestad, stop stealing people's shit, and I promise you will be happier. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna say is go watch these 2 videos. They are 2 incredible videos made by 2 YouTubers who are criminally underviewed. Support the people who make real shit, because that's what YouTube is all about. Oh, and I want to thank Lemon and his trusty Firebomb Academy for helping make this video possible. Whoever helped with translation or examining the videos, please reach out to me because I'd like to thank you personally. Anyways guys, that's it for me, and I hope I will catch you in the next one. This video was made possible through the support of our amazing patrons. I want to give a special shout out to Rebecca Lyons, Layburb, Puddles Megan, Liam Helt, Nice Gamer Musics, and KoiKoi13.